All right, boys, how to actually date nines and tens. I know a lot of you guys are sick of pulling those girls who are five, sixes, and sevens. You want better quality. You want the best quality. I'm going to show you practically how you guys can do that, okay? The first thing I want to talk about is you need to find out where nines and tens hang out in your city. All right. And the second thing I want to say, guys, is a lot of you, right? If you live in these rinky dink towns where, there's just not much going on, nines and tens really might not exist. Okay. So you might need to get to those bigger cities, right? So if you're somewhere in the Midwest, you might need to make it to Chicago, right? If you're somewhere in the middle of nowhere, Connecticut, you might need to make it to New York City. You need to find out where these bigger cities are because they're in general, they're going to have more concentrations of nines and tens. All right, guys, there is no getting those hot girls if they don't exist. Okay, a lot of you guys come to me. How do I get nines and tens? You live in the damn woods. There are no nines and tens. All right, guys. So you need to get to a big city first and foremost. Secondly, where do nines and tens hang out? Guys, the easiest way to find this out is you need to go on TikTok, on Instagram, find the new popping, cool lounges, nightclubs, cafes, okay? Look through their hashtags and you're gonna see the attractive women who hang out at those spots, all right? Now, if you're a guy who likes to go out at night, you like to pull a lot of girls at night, awesome, nightclub, lounges, right? If you're a little more introverted, you're a little more nerdy, right? You don't have any interest in drinking, find the new popping coffee shop, right? People work there, people work remote there. A lot of hot girls are getting matcha lattes, right? You need to find those venues. You need to reverse engineer it. And there's no better way by doing that than going on TikTok, going on Instagram, finding the new hotspots, finding and searching the hashtags, see what kind of girls hang out in those venues, okay? There's no getting these girls if you don't know where they are, okay? But the good news for you guys is I think a lot of you overestimate what you really need to get these women. Really, you just need access, right? Access, so access to where they are, which is the nightclubs, the coffee shops, those sort of places, and the game. Okay, you don't need to have $1 million. You don't need to have a yacht. You don't need to have these things. You just need access. All right. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is you need to be able to communicate in a flirty and fun way and lead the interactions. Okay? Hot women, really attractive women, okay? They have options. Like, let's be real here. They're getting hit on, especially in these big cities. They're getting hit on, they're getting talked to. So you have to stand out. How do you stand out? You be a better flirt. You be a better leader, right? And if you guys really want to learn how to become a better flirt and a better leader, check the pinned comments because we have a 5-step free training on how to actually become a better flirt, better leader. That women, guys, when me and Jesse date women, they freaking fall for us. They fly out to see us. They're obsessed with us, guys. Okay, that's what you all should want anyway. And that's what you have to do with these girls. Even if you're not the greatest looking guy, if you could flirt, if you could lead, right? If you could at least dress decently, dress the part. You don't have to be Giga Chad. You don't have to be 9% body fat. If you could do those things, you're way ahead of the competition who's simping, who's liking all her photos, who's giving her free attention. You'll be miles and miles ahead of those guys, all right? Now, the third thing I want to talk about is you should actually dress the part. You should be the guy. You should be cool, right? Whatever it is you're into, right? If you're going to nice lounges, right? Nice clubs, have nice button-down shirts, right? Have nice loafers, right? Have a nice haircut, look polished, okay? If you're into working at coffee shops, right? Look good, look the part, right? Whether that's artsy or also like old money look or just look the part. Don't be a bum out there trying to meet nines and tens at these cool venues. All right, it's just not going to work. You need to be congruent, somewhat congruent with what's going on in those places. All right, guys. The fourth thing I want to talk about is not making it a big deal that she's attractive. Guys, at the end of the day, she's still a woman. Okay, getting a 7 is not that much different than getting a girl who's a 10. She's still a woman at the end of the day, right? She still reacts to the same emotions, the same things. She still wants to feel sexy. Guess what, guys? Nines and tens, they have even more insecurities than the girls who are sevens, right? They probably have more insecurities than you do, right? Because they feel like they need to be kept to such a high standard. These girls aren't as unattainable as you guys think. I know so many times I've walked in, different countries or coffee shops or at the mall, and I've seen girls, right, girls who are stunning with guys who are 2 or 3 points, worse on average, right? Even 5 points worse. But he's cool. He believes in himself. He doesn't make it a big deal that she's really attractive and really hot. You got to own those things. Realize, fellas, women aren't necessarily only caring about your looks. You have to bring way more to the table than that. If you can be like, every guy can get to a 6 or 7. I don't care. Most of you, 99% of you, right? Unless you have some kind of deformity, you all can get to a 6 or 7 in looks, right? If you're short, be jacked. If you're tall, also be jacked, right? Dress well. You can all meet that threshold of being above average. And then you can let your game, right? Your experiences, your leadership qualities all shine through to get those girls who may be 2 or 3, points higher than you on the look scale. All right, boys. But remember, you need to find out where these girls are to get them, fellas. If you live in a small town, stop coping. Stop looking for them. They don't exist. You need to move to bigger places to get these quality of women because that's where they are, guys. All right, boys. Thank you for watching the video. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and I'll talk to you guys soon.